The Rebel 3 was one of my favorite daily trainers of 2022 because it's lightweight, versatile, and fun to run in. But to really be a great daily trainer, it's gotta be durable enough to hold up to actual daily training. So let's see how my New Balance Rebel version 3 have held up after 100 miles. Yo, what's going on everybody? My name is Kofuzi and I'm a non-elite runner who reviews shoes here on YouTube, and today I'm gonna talk about the New Balance Rebel version 3 after 100 miles. But before I get to my thoughts on this shoe, I do wanna go over some disclosures. This is a pair of shoes that I bought myself, so no one sent them to me or is paying me to make this video, and no one's gonna get a chance to preview any of my footage or my thoughts before you guys get a chance to see this video on YouTube. So with that disclosure out of the way, let's talk about the New Balance Rebel version 3. For my longer term reviews, I'm going to talk about how I've been using the shoe and how it's been holding up. And then at the end of the video, I'll get into some shoes that you can compare it to and also some other shoes that you might be able to complement it with as we get into the buying guide and my recommendations for this shoe. First, let's get into how I've been using it. I've been using it as a true daily trainer for my everyday runs, but it can also handle long runs and anything that needs a little bit of some pace changes. So an easy run with some strides thrown at the end, or even anything as quick as a track day, as it is very lightweight and low to the ground. But that lowness to the ground doesn't mean that it doesn't have enough cushion to make it fun for every day or even those long runs. That fuel cell foam that's in this shoe, and that's all that's in the midsole of the shoe, is really nice and squishy, absorbing a lot of impact, but it springs back in a really pleasant way that makes it fun and exciting to run in, even though it's an extremely lightweight foam. And another really great part about this shoe is that it's just so comfortable. I went true to size on this one, and I think that's the right move for most people. The width is really nice. There's room for that pinky toe as well. And so I can be in this shoe for hours at a time without any part of it feeling like it's bunching, squishing, or crunching any of the toes. And that just helps with the overall pleasantness of the ride and the ability to take this out for those long runs. And this material is lightweight and breathable enough that even for summer running, it's not going to be a giant sweat collector. I've really just been enjoying this shoe for pretty much anything that you would use a daily trainer for. And I feel like this all white version looks absolutely fantastic, although not all the colors am I a particular fan of for the shoe. Some of them I think are actual real stinkers, but that is just beauty, and it's in the eye of the beholder. Now let's talk about how the shoe's actually been holding up though, and put the aesthetics to the side for a moment. I feel like the shoe's been holding up real well in terms of the foam. This shoe is still really exciting to run in. It still has that lightweightness to it. It still has that springiness to it, and it still has enough cushion to take for a longer run. The rubber on the outsole is holding up really well. It's just pretty much a little bit discolored, but other than that, it seems to be holding up fine. There's a little bit of wear in some of the highest traffic areas for me and my shoes. That's the pads of the feet and then this outer part of the heel, where I'm seeing the amount of wear that I would kind of expect to see at 100 miles. Moving to the upper, other than a little bit of discoloration from this all white shoe, I feel like it's in absolutely fantastic condition. There are hardly any signs of wear on this at all. Even on this dual layer mesh, which at times looks like it could be very delicate, but the strength yet pliable nature of these materials is still shining through at the 100 mile mark. And I think that this is like a really good time to talk about the fact that there's a relationship between early wear and the fit of a shoe. As I mentioned in the earlier section of this video, this shoe fits really well on my foot, and I feel like that helps to make sure that the materials can last even longer. Because when a shoe is not created well, or where the sizing is a little bit off, that's going to create bunching or tension in spots where things are a little bit too tight or maybe don't have enough volume. I don't have any of those problems in this shoe, and so it's a very comfortable fit, and that also means that it's going to be easier on the materials that are in here. Even though they're very lightweight and very thin and breathable, everything's looking really fantastic for the shoe in terms of the wear and tear on the upper. Now let's take a look at some of the competition if you're looking at some other shoes that you can kind of compare the New Balance Rebel version 3 against. And the two other shoes that I would consider against it are the two other shoes that I would say are my top 3 of the daily trainers from last year. The first one that I think we can look at is the Hoka Mach 5. I feel like these two shoes are very similar in terms of their approach and what they're trying to accomplish. And they're also very similar in terms of their results. Both of these shoes can go from long run all the way to speed work. I will say that the Mach 5 maybe is a little bit bigger of a shoe. It feels like there's a little bit more of kind of everything in there. So if you have to do a lot more speed work in your shoe, then I might push you towards the New Balance Rebel version 3. Now, the other daily trainer that I think that you can compare the Rebel version 3 against was my shoe of the year last year, and that's the Nova Blast 3. I think, again, both of these are two very fun, very versatile daily trainers that you could use for just about everything. I'm a road marathoner, and so the little bit of extra cushion that's in the Nova Blast 3 makes me prefer this shoe, but both of these shoes can definitely do everything from speed work to your long run and everything in between. These are both going to be really great choices. Now, in terms of pricing for these shoes though, both the Mach 5 and the Nova Blast 3, as far as I can tell, for the most part are available still at their original retail price of $140. And I feel like $140 is a lot, but I feel like it's a very fair price for what you're getting in each of those shoes because they are some of the best on the marketplace right now. The New Balance Rebel version 3 retails at $130, and for the most part, most of the colors of this shoe in most sizes are going to be at that $130 point. But if you're willing to pick up what I think is one of the ugliest shoes I've seen in recent memory, I would say that you can head over to Joe's New Balance outlet, which is New Balance's like official outlet store, and you can find the Rebel version 3 on sale for $60. And that is just an incredible price. That's an easy no-brainer pickup in my mind. Now, let's say you do pick up the Rebel version 3, whether it's the colors that I like or some of the ones that are on discount. Let's talk about some options in terms of how to pair the shoe into a rotation. And I feel like within New Balance, there's a really nice kind of set of shoes that you can look at all together. And these are all fuel cell foam shoes. It's the same midsole foam material that's in all of these, but you've got a kind of max cushion shoe in the SC Trainer. I'm holding the version 1. And then you have a racing shoe, the SC Elite version 3. You're gonna have very similar kind of like manners and road dynamics in all of these, but for the SC Trainer, you're getting kind of that max cushion, longer run type of shoe if you want a little bit more cushion under the heel for your long runs. And then for the SC Elite version 3, you're getting that carbon fiber plate and you're getting that race day readiness in that shoe. But all these 3 shoes are going to feel kind of familiar to you. If you run into one, you're gonna be familiar when you get into some of the other ones. So that's kind of like the very easy rotation that I think you can certainly put together. Now, one thing that I would say though is for the person that absolutely loves the Rebel version 3, I sometimes feel like the SC Elite 3 may be a little bit too squishy of a racing shoe, and you might want something that's just a little bit more aggressive. And so in that situation, I might pair the Rebel version 3 with the Metaspeed Sky from ASICS. So you're gonna be leaving the New Balance family for a little bit, but I feel like the mechanics of this shoe are gonna pair really nicely with the Rebel version 3 as well. So those are my thoughts on the New Balance Rebel version 3. Just had an absolute blast running in this shoe. If you have any other questions about it, feel free to put them in the comments down below. Or better yet, stop by the live stream that I do Monday through Friday right here on YouTube. I'd love to talk to you guys in the chat. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. Hopefully you guys are staying safe out there on your runs, and I will see you in the next one.
Yo, what's going on?